not going to, Christ would not make you do something. So yeah, but the thing is this is that but the thing is that the church is supposed to belong to God, and basically it's supposed to be an institution that's a reflection of the principles of God. And if it changes too much, it becomes a secular institution. It's supposed to be an institution that is supposed to be able to withstand the social issues of the day. As long as the church is not harming people, it's supposed to have principles that do not bend and principles that don't bend and kind of flex with the times. And if the church starts to bend and flex with the times, it will not be that institution will not be the church any longer. Yeah. It could be right. But when you talk about things in terms of marriage, in terms of sexuality, when it comes to religion, these are the bedrock values of the Bible if you look at it as a document. The same way the Constitution has freedom of speech and the Bill of Rights, those are the bedrock values of that document. And if you change that, you change the whole document itself. And certainly things can be modified, but certain things are in place and they should remain in place. And if you change them in any way, you completely change the meaning of the whole thing. And that's what I'm saying is that if you go against certain principles, you are basically saying that the whole document is something that has no value anymore. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, definitely the country is much stronger, yeah. No, we shouldn't. But what I'm saying is, you can have modifications to an interpretation, but there are certain principles which are at the heart of what the institution stands for. And if you change those principles, you change the institution and the nature of it itself. And the people who are the guardians of the institution, the people who are the theologians, the priests and so forth, they know what those principles are. They know that if you change it too much, that organization is not going to be the same way as it once was. So, and what we as Christians are saying is that if you change the concept of what marriage is, you are you are engaging in a fundamental change of the Bible and of Christianity itself. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, he was. Well, he's the first pope who. He's the first pope who happened to be a Jesuit. The whole purpose of the Jesuit order is, their purpose is to try to promote the Catholic Church all over the world and in every sector of society, and they will do that by any means. So what he's doing is that he's making these compromises to try to promote the church to more people. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What's going to happen is if it's made a federal law, people who are homosexual can go to the church and say, "This is a federal law. The federal government allows us to be married. We want you to marry us." If you have a minister that refuses, that minister could be sued in civil court for some type of discrimination because he won't do it, and yet it's a federal law. So that's the whole thing, is that this is what Christian ministers are afraid of, that they're going to be facing these types of civil suits in the near future because they want to stand on principle. They don't believe in homosexual marriage. And this is being talked about. This is being talked about all over the country. Like I said, you have ministers on the internet that are talking about this, and it's not only that, but it's the move of the society towards all types of humanism. There's this basic embrace of people starting to abandon their faith, and that's the reason why so many churches are in financial jeopardy, because they don't have the youth anymore. I mean, the youth are not, for the most part, they're not attending the churches anymore, and they're doing other things on the weekend, and there is this general move away from God. And yeah, right, right, right. It's separation of church and state. Yeah. So if the state wants to recognize a civil union, the state should be allowed to do that. I mean, I basically have more of a libertarian view about this, and basically what the libertarians say is that the state needs to get out of marriage completely. They need to abandon both homosexual marriage and also straight marriage as well. They need to say that the state is not going to be involved in labeling of marriages anymore. All the state is going to do is give you a civil contract between two people, that these two people want to form some type of union. If you want to have the designation of marriage, you have to go to a minister or a priest, and that person is someone who represents the church. They can only say if the person is married or not, and that would solve this whole problem. But it's because the state wants to, go over into the realm of religion and wants to deal with these terms that come from religion. This is causing the whole confusion. Yeah. But what's going to happen? In terms of the legal procedure is that if it's a federal law and it's recognized federally, then that's going to open up, like in terms of the civil rights have to be protected, because the whole thing with civil rights is that goes into the federal government, and those happen to be federal rights as well. So if someone believes that someone is not following the stipulations of a federal law, they can sue in terms of civil rights violations. And this is what is going to happen, is that if people go to churches and they don't think these churches are going to following the stipulations of this federal law, and they're refused certain things, they can say that the church has violated their civil rights. You know. All right, okay.
90 seconds.
All right. Yeah, okay, all right. Okay, thanks.
60 seconds.
Barely. I didn't hang up with him barely. I fell asleep. Okay. All right.